Welcome to an exploration of resolve. This is a wake-up epic experience. We're looking at the 40th hexagram, also the 40th gene key and the 40th human design gate. So welcome. Because part of you is probably exhausted. So let's start there for a second. Relax your body. The shadow that we're exploring is exhaustion. The themes are exhaustion and resolve and divine will. So anywhere that your body has been holding on to some exhaustion, let's welcome that, notice it, and acknowledge it. And already notice to have put up with this much exhaustion, existential exhaustion, practical exhaustion, perhaps career and relationship exhaustion, you have to have a lot of resolve. So please acknowledge the resolve you probably haven't acknowledged yet. The embodied story for the 40th hexagram starts in pillar. That's incorrect. We're going to end in pillar, but we're going to start in bridge. So come forward, yang, come down, yin, come narrow, yin, into a bridge position from UZAZU. And in bridge, the idea is connection, especially sensitive, empathic connection. Then, from a world of bridge, from a space of connection, we shift back away from the other into ourself, yin. We come up as an active agent in our life, yang, and we come narrow to be in the situation, letting go of our mind about it and our story about it. And in pillar, the ideal is I can, I will. A lot of times this is the idea of what's the creative impulse that you're listening to. But this could just be the impulse of life, your sense of aliveness, your sense of I am, without needing to understand it. Then move back and forth a few times between pillar, come forward, down into bridge, connection, life. Move back and forth at your own pace, speed, and distance. Get a sense for what it's like to move between them. Try a couple times slow and a couple times fast. Once you've got the general physicality of this, when you start to move your awareness with this, it can get kind of interesting. So you let your awareness move forward and soft and connecting with the others in the space around you or right here in the video with us. And drop that awareness, turn your attention to yourself when you come into pillar. So it almost feels selfish. Some words that are coming to my mind are a spiritual selfishness. Yes, I will. Lastly, take a moment to connect pillar and gateway up bridge at the same time. So one arm in pillar, one arm, 1 foot in bridge. Imagine you're doing both at the same time, like stretching 2 endpoints and creating a creative potential. And imagine what would it be like to hold, I can let life come through, I can be an active agent in my life, and I can sensitively connect with others. Finally, just bring your attention to the fact that both of these moves are narrow. So we want to minimize our thinking about what's going on and optimize, maximize just being in it. Like Nike says, just do it. Finally, let this go. Back to a neutral place. Neutral is out of doing anything, soft knees, soft arms. So as our wake up epic practice, what we're going to do is spend just over a minute in 4 activations. And these activations come out of the work of UZAZU. They are specifically tuned to what does this embodied story say? And so the embodied story is about getting the help you need, the connection you need to move forward with your action. So the help you need that's connected to your will, the help you need that's connected with you, how life is moving through you. And we can take that practically, asking for help with your plan, and we can take that transcendentally, spiritually, and connect with our guides or our higher self for our higher purpose. And there's really a lot of room to play there. So each minute, we'll drop in 1 activation statement. The idea is to notice how it moves through you, what it opens in you, and what it evokes. Because we're working with exhaustion and resolve, you may tune into the can't or the must of, I'm exhausted. And so we can welcome all of that. And you might just generate a sense of insight around resolve, what you're committed to, how you are established in a sense of grit and in perseverance. So here we go. Start with touching bridge. Flow between bridge and pillar at your own pace in a way that feels good. Use these words and modify them as you like. I can be good at sensing what will support me when it comes to reaching my goals. I can be good at sensing what will support me in reaching my goals. I can sense what will support me in reaching my goals. Our second activation. I can know when to reach out to others to support my actions. So timing. I can know when to reach out to others for support for my actions. Our third activation. I can ask for and receive help. I can ask for and receive help in moving forward with my plans. can ask for help and I can receive help in moving forward with my plans. Finally, last, I can find new ideas and inspiration to move me through any exhaustion. I can find new ideas and inspiration to move me through any exhaustion. Now hold both positions at once. So one arm in pillar, one arm in bridge, and hold the ideas of resolve and divine will. Resolve and divine will. Hold them, explore what emerges for you. Take the next few breaths to feel complete here before stepping out of it into neutral. Let it all go. Let the archetype go, the pattern go. Gently look around the room. See if there's an immediate something that your attention's drawn to, or a few things. As we come back together to share, what's the distillation? What's the takeaway? Notice that from within you. Notice that from anything your attention is drawn to. So you can make a story and share some value. Let's come back together. If you're doing this practice on your own later, this is the time to speak something out loud about what you've noticed, what your takeaway is, or a journal, but to look at what's the treasure you're bringing back, the gem, the gift, what is yours now to offer. And if you're here with us live, take couple minutes to have a light dialogue, share some stories. What are you noticing? What's possible now?
Well, it's definitely a really amazing synergy and juxtaposition. I mean, these are always have a lot of synchronicity, but here it's so profound. But in terms of thoughts that occurred to me, or the insights that I thought were quite interesting, so there was all of this about asking for help and being so essential for resolve and will, how no human is an island. None of us do what we do alone. So the capacity to cooperate and co-create is so essential. This illusion that anybody is doing anything completely alone is a complete illusion. Even if they are in the hut in the middle of nowhere, they're still co-creating with other beings, other creatures. But what occurred to me when you kept saying in these statements, asking for help, how in this day and age, asking for help means hiring somebody. It's like, oh, it's going to cost some money if you get help. So that led me to the next step, saying, well, so no wonder asking for help is unattractive, because it's going to cost me money. I have to allocate budget for that. And I guess presumably I'm helping somebody else sufficiently that I'm getting paid for the help I'm offering, so that then I can pay whatever helpers I might need to hire. So then I was like, okay, if help was not for money, if there was indeed, I do remember the times when asking people for help, helping each other without money was my reality. I do remember, I have lived through it. It's like, no, but then it's going to cost me effort in dealing with them, because if they're helping me for free, then I have to cater to their needs, and then it's even more effort and more exhaustion. So it's like, oh, I can see why we have switched to paid helpers, because then we don't have to deal with their feelings and whatever. We just tell them the scope of work, done, pay, over. So that was very, very interesting that it came up. I guess both of those is that for the resolve and will to be functional in the world, help or connection is required. And then this whole, the nature of monetizing being human, all as many aspects of being human as possible that we live in, was interesting.
Thank you. Marian, you want to share anything? You're still muted.
I said I needed a moment to write there. What came for me was that that sense of when you said look around the room, what my eyes landed on are two books. One is the book of symbols, the reflections of archetypal images, and the other was a book on the cultural politics of emotions. Sarah Ahmed, a very postmodern philosopher. And the conviction that arose at that moment was about balancing the receiving, the hollow reed image, which has been sort of a powerful image for me in my life, with the resolve to articulate, to gather what I know and to speak it. And it made me think of a dream I had when, maybe 30 years ago, of a deaf mute girl in a little tower looking outside, and somebody passing by said a word, and that one word floated in and through and into her ear, and she could speak. And it was like that part, that balance of my work is something that is maybe ripe now.
Oh, interesting. That was a dream.
Mm-hmm.
That it definitely inspires me to feel like I want to hear. I would want to watch that story as a cartoon. I want to read that story, and there's just fascinating. It's fascinating hook. So yeah, thank you. I was drawn to a lamp here that's in the shape of a goose, and a bag of some form that has it's in camouflage, brown camouflage, and I'm just drawn to the theme of things that are hidden in plain sight. Because this goose thing, my wife was here in this office a few days ago, and we've been in this space for now almost 3 weeks, and she realized, oh my God, that's Gladys. That's the same lamp that a best friend of hers had decades ago. So she texts him a picture, and then they're texting all these pictures from decades ago and reliving the joy of all the fun with Gladys the goose lamp. And this camouflage bag, it's like, it's been here, and but it's camouflage. It's like this sense like what's hiding in plain sight, and things like your story. Like I feel a certain arrogance sometimes, or a judginess, or maybe it's just tension or wanting people to be better or something when people are talking and it's not clear why. And in my mind, it's like, why? What are you saying? It's like, and there's something about story that if we're in a story, that question isn't there for me. So that's where I'm at, is it's hidden in plain sight, story, and we inspire each other through stories. We facilitate each other to have resolve through stories. And the last thing here I want to say is, if I ever need inspiration or help, and someone gives me advice or tells me what to do, even though I want the help, there's a way in which it's hard to receive it. But if it's couched in a story or even a question or a what if, even if they said, hey, if you did this, this, and this might happen. Like if the advice is couched or narrated in a story, I'm able to receive it more. But if it's, you should drink more water, it's almost like I don't understand it. So I'll be curious to play with what's hidden in plain sight that has to do with resolve, and to tie your piece in, Alexandra, about we always have to pay something for help. Something, whether it's ego or money or something, give some kindness. So, all right. So this has been a dive then, a wake up epic into resolve. And I hope it's been energizing. And may this practice, as a physical practice and a mind, body, emotional, spiritual, soulful practice, expand your resolve, relieve some exhaustion that has been hiding in plain sight. And may they come through as wonderful, inspiring, blissful stories that bring resolve to you and to others. So thanks for being epic and waking up epic. And I'll see you in the next episode.